Hey everybody, Radish here, and I've got a load of first impressions about the exciting new expansion, Dragonflight. Why should I care? You're just some guy. Everybody has opinions. What makes you special? No. You don't understand. My opinions are negative. Oh, well, in that case, I'd love to hear what you say. That's right. I'm super disappointed in Dragonflight so far. I know. Thank you. Nah, I'm just being silly. Of course, I've been having fun, but if you look for Warcraft on YouTube, you'll just see dozens upon dozens of poggers thumbnails as everyone clamors that, oh, WoW is back on the menu, boys. In fact, my face was pretty poggers, if I do say so myself. I had a stream up as I was watching the expansion officially begin, and I was quickly overcome with just the sheer energy of everybody standing on that dock. There were so many people, it was hard to just make myself out on the screen. And just like the pre-expansion event was lagging my game so bad, I dropped to 2 frames per second. It felt like not only people cared about WoW again, but it felt like WoW was an MMO again, the way that we always think of it as. Finally, the boat arrived and took us on that journey to the Dragon Isles, the location known only to those who watch lore videos about cut content from previous expansions. I grabbed a bunch of quests and took flight. Time to start leveling up and getting all that new gold and gear. Except something felt different. A moment ago it was so dense, but now, where is everyone? I really quickly remembered that one WoW feature that haunts me. The bane of the role player. Server sharding. Just in case you aren't familiar with sharding, it's a technique that splits the world up into different instances. Just like when you go to a dungeon and it's only your 5-man party there. This helps combat some issues in the open world when too many players get in the way of doing quests and leveling up and such. But, this was introduced in Warlords of Draenor, which is funny because that was also the expansion that introduced garrisons. A lot of players were afraid that garrisons and now server sharding might get in the way of the MMO feeling. A player could log in, get all their gathering and crafting done without seeing another player, and log off for the day. Our fears were a little overstated, but sharding still exists as a mild annoyance for a handful of players. Organizing large roleplay events becomes a hassle. Sometimes you have to organize carefully planned out raid groups just to keep all players together at the same time. Sharding also remains off in large cities, and that helps keep the feeling alive when you check in at the auction house. But it becomes a very odd experience when you see dozens of people all packed in the auction house, and then you head outdoors and maybe 1 or 2 are out in the wild. But it's a bit of a necessary evil. Server stability means less lag, and man, if you have any lag while dragon riding, you'll immediately get frustrated. But part of me just wants to see the chaos. When there's too many players on screen, it becomes a unique experience. It's part of what makes it an MMO to me. I love seeing stories on Kotaku about how players organize a literal line to talk to an NPC or something. Right now, I don't have a lot of stories to share about interacting with people in Dragonflight. It's almost been a single-player experience for me. It was so fun to wait for it, but as soon as the gates were opened, all I can really talk about are the back-of-the-box features. Evoker is fun, dragon riding is fun, crafting feels promising, talent trees are mostly good, and what else is there to share? Now, this is just me nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking. We'll have to wait and see how everything feels in the next couple of months, I think. And my list of complaints is so small compared to the long list of smiles I've had along the way. I do want to make that clear. Also, it's important to note that there are some exceptions here and there. While out in the world, I do not often see other players, but one big example of that fun chaos is the soup event, where you go help out the Tuskar. I was so happy to see this mess of players all trying to figure out what was going on, so I would be remiss if I didn't point out, there's still a handful of examples like this that still exist in the world. I suppose I just wanted to ask how you felt about it. Does Blizzard go too far on the sharding, and why don't they handle it like other games where you can at least choose the shard you want to play on? Or better yet, Was this whole video just confusing to you because I'm a crazy person and you never noticed any of this stuff? That might be the best scenario. And leave a comment below. As always, a big thanks to my patrons. Remember, the $65 tier does get you a dirty feather on the mail. And I'll see you on the Dragon Isles. Except I probably won't, because we'll be on separate shards.